we see and know that in Acts chapter 2, that the Holy Spirit had fell, came like a mighty rushing wind, like a sound from heaven, right? But what were they doing here? Let's just ask ourselves this. This is probably irrelevant to salvation, but it's a good thing to know. What was going on at this point? We see that in Acts chapter 2, Yeshua, Jesus, he just got through telling the disciples, wait here in Jerusalem, don't go anywhere. I want you to go up there and wait for the promise of the Father. And what was the promise of the Father? Is that the Holy Spirit coming upon them in a mighty way. So we had at least 120 people in the upper room praying on one accord. But what were they doing there in Jerusalem? Why would God almost wait for that time, that appointed time, to release His Spirit on His people at that point? Why wait till that day? Why not 10 days earlier? Why not 20 days after? I think there's a specific reason why. And we see throughout the Bible, Old Covenant, New Covenant, that God does things not by accident, but they are part of His plan and purpose. And He does things on His calendar. The feast, appointed time in Hebrew, right? Feast, the appointed time of weeks, of Shavuot. And this is time of the harvest, but yet this is also a time of reflection and remembrance that the Torah, the instructions, were given to Moses. And fire and the winds were there. Fast forward 1400 years later, and you get the same effect, but yet we got the indwelling of the Holy Spirit with the mighty rushing wind, with tongues, flames of fire coming upon people. They were there for that specific time. Not only were they there for that specific time, but God was going to show His glory at this moment. God was about to show His power to the people. See, God, whether He shows it to 2, 3 people, or 2 or 3,000 people, God will show His glory at this time. Because what were people saying after people were speaking in unknown tongues? Are these people drunk? Hey, wait, I'm from Mesopotamia. I'm from such and such this area. They're speaking my language. But they're native for here. They're natives of the outskirts of Israel, of Jerusalem. Right? God was getting the glory. Peter, through the power of the Holy Spirit, arose and witnessed and preached. 3,000 people were saved. Parallels? Yes. Fulfillments? Yes. So we see that God is working in this continuous foreshadowing. We know that the Old Covenant, the Old Testament, is the New Testament concealed, and the New Testament, New Covenant, is the Old Covenant revealed. Yeshua, Jesus said that I did not come to abolish the Torah, the law, and the prophets, but to fulfill. To fulfill. I think a lot of time we get this thought that Jesus came to clear the table, if you will. In some sense, it is true. I think it was more of the hypocrisy and of the man-made way of doing things instead of what God had pre-set up beforehand. Okay, let's just get into this. So Acts chapter 3. Acts chapter